Now, I know you guys have got to go off to talk to people one-to-one. It's a very helpful service that you're providing today. People can come and share with you there. It depends personal circumstances and get some decent advice from you there. Americans in Porto, financial planning. Have you got 8 more minutes for me to talk about how we can market Portuguese wine around the world? Is that all right?
I actually just wanted to leave a note about Tavira, about the comment Mr. S made.
Yes.
We actually had like a few clients move to Tavira, so it's not impossible. We have help, but it's definitely getting quite popular.
Yes, you need good help. That's the point here, isn't it? So Savvy Cat can do that for you.
And it's not the most expensive place in the Algarve, but it's not exactly cheap at this point either.
And it's a lovely place, isn't it? It's a lovely place. Ricardo's hometown there.
Oh, yeah.
It still retains some of its original charm, doesn't it? And long may that continue. Right. I'm going to refer to the Friday briefing, Portugal Decoded. Please get Portugal Decoded. It's a great service in English for you if your Portuguese isn't up to scratch yet. Good morning. Welcome to Portugal Decoded. Not an April Fool's prank. Trump's tariff hikes could have a significant negative impact on Portugal's economy. I'm sure you're keeping a close eye on that in the financial advisory world there, Ricardo. I'm watching this come out almost hour by hour. We've got a little screenshot from Portugal Decoded. It's a very interesting scene. That's what it's worth, the Portuguese export market. And who knew that Portugal basically sent such things as pharmaceuticals, mineral fuels, rubber, electrical machinery, mechanical machinery, a lot, 2,903 million euros, a trade surplus with the US in 2024. Also cork, iron and steel, all the things that Portugal makes. It's incredible. Textiles and footwear, furniture and knitted apparel we're including there as well. And a little bit of a concern from the wine industry. Trump tariffs an opportunity for Portugal wines. So the president of the Douro Intermunicipal Community has warned about the immediate impact of the new 20% tariffs. They are an EU tariff, of course, not a specifically Portuguese one, on the wine business, and argued that the region should explore new markets. You are both well traveled around the world. I suspect you have quite a good working knowledge of Portuguese wines as well. Where do you think we should go in the world with our Portuguese wines if it's going to be difficult to take them into the United States for the foreseeable future? Anna, where would you like to go with me?
I'm actually, on that note, I just wanted to say that while I was in the US, I did visit a few wine shops and so on, and I was surprised that Portuguese wines didn't seem to be all that popular. It's like more like French wines and so on. People seem to be that aware of the quality of Portuguese wines, at least in the West Coast where I was. I don't know if Ricardo had a different experience. So
of course, yes, you're well versed in the United States as well, aren't you, Ricardo? What is the Portuguese wine market like from your personal experience?
What I was, and I was more in the south, the south in the US. Compared to Spain, France, and Italy, we didn't have that many wines exported. Again, we don't produce at the levels that Spain, France, and Italy do. Again, when I traveled to then California and to New York, then there was a bit more exposure to Portuguese wines. Again, I probably think we just have to look at different markets. I don't know exactly the numbers. I don't know if the US actually, there's a lot of Portuguese wine drinkers or people that drink a lot of Portuguese wine in the US, but it's just time to look at different markets. Probably more in the European department as well.
Yeah, it's completely different on scale. I mean, the US is a multi-billion-dollar and a lot of people. How many people does the US have now? We know Portugal has 11 million. So I'm sure that's a lot of times more.
350 million, isn't it? That's how the export market for Portuguese wine looked last year. Number one consumers, and that's probably quite a few Portuguese people in France buying Portuguese wine. And Brazil, of course, the third. Again, the great Portuguese influence and diaspora buying Portuguese wines. But the question is, if we go to work for the Portuguese Wine Marketing Board later on today, if they if they see this and give us an invite to go and work with them, Anna, where would you like to go in the world with a box of Portuguese wine and do tasting sessions? Japan, I'm guessing, would be one possible place.
Well, Japan is definitely somewhere I want to visit, but
Yes.
honestly, market-wise, I would say Arab countries would be more interesting.
Really?
Would be considered kind of oh no, but because of the Muslim culture that doesn't allow alcohol, never mind that. So maybe
the expat market in those countries, maybe.
But generally, it's nice to target luxury markets with this kind of products because the import and the costs of just moving things around, they become quite expensive and kind of luxury products. So they have to be marketed as such. So it makes more sense to go for high economies.
Yeah, very good. Okay, well, I think you and me should go to see Luis Pato, get a few boxes of wine, and then go maybe to the Far East. Pete found that the Portuguese wines are very popular in Asia as well. So that's an interesting market there. Algarvian wines, Ricardo, are we taking those somewhere? Where do you fancy going in the world with a box of Portuguese wine?
Yeah, my guess would be into to Asia as well. I think probably we don't export much to that area. The Algarvian wine's actually growing. There's way more companies, and the Algarvian wines they're traditionally a bit more, I think, sweet. Yeah, they're sweeter than the different regions, Alentejo and the Douro. So yeah, I would potentially go into Asia. It's not the area I have much experience on. I traveled a lot in the world, but not much to Asia. So I would
I think
happy to go with you.
Right, the three of us are willing to take that risk, aren't we? And
exactly.
And even though we don't know it very well, we'll pop over with some, and we're happy to represent the Portuguese wine industry. Should you be looking at us this morning? Just finally, then, I know you've got to go to the session today and help people with real estate, with taxation, and with financial management and wealth management. Today, we've got Mr. S asking where you are in the US. I think you're in Porto today, aren't you?
Today. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, most of our colleagues, or most of my boss and my colleagues, we're all in Europe. Even though it's a US company, we're all based in Europe. We're based in Portugal. I'm in the south. We have my colleague Jennifer in Porto, and then everywhere is just kind of spread around Europe, in Spain, France, and Italy.
Okay, wonderful. And then just finally, people can come and see you today at the event, and I've got the link in the chat for that. And you can see the best way to get in touch with Anna. If you're looking for a place in Tavira, for example, savvycatrealty.com. And Ricardo, what's the best way to find out about you and the work of Nicholas as well?
Yes, so I think if you click the link, you will have an ability to get in touch with us. I think my contact information is there. I think the event has closed the sales because we don't have any more space in the morning. But if you contact us directly, I should be able to arrange time to see and meet with you. And the idea of the event, again, because we don't do with the reason for the individualized sessions that's why we don't do like a webinar or a seminars, because it just depends on the person's situation. A lot of it is just the depends answers, especially in finance. Exactly. So that's why we would like to have the one-on-ones, just so again people can ask questions and we can talk a bit more personalized.
Is it okay? And you're the organizer, so I have to ask you. Is it okay for people to just show up and walk in and just have a quick chat?
Yeah, exactly. That's my other thing. We're gonna be there the whole day.
We will be in the hotel until the 4 Points in Matosinhos until 5 p.m.
Very, very good. Thank you. And is that a good translation? Gata desenrolada.
Desenrascada. Desenrolada is actually to roll. You know, when you have something that's rolled and you unroll it. That's what
recipe. Right. We're not eating cats here, right? Okay. Where were you? He wants to know in the US. What's your favorite part of the United States, Ricardo?
I would probably. I mean, I really like Boston. That's my favorite city. Even there's a lot. I played tennis, so I went on a scholarship, and I played at Ole Miss, University of Mississippi. Yeah,
fantastic.
They have a really good tennis program. So I travel a lot around the South. But Boston is where I was going to stay and going to work and at my favorite city in the US by far.
Good for you. It's been lovely to meet you this morning. Thank you.
Yeah,
You're very
you
welcome
too.
to come back with Anna, and let's talk some more. You've given some great service to people this morning, so thank you so much for that. Just finally on It Depends. I was going to ask you for a translation, a Portuguese translation of It Depends, but when I've asked Portuguese people before about that, they've said, well, it depends on which it depends you mean. So I think we might have to just leave it there.
Depends.
Yes, right. All right, Ricardo, thanks so much. Savica, Anna, thanks so much. Thank you, Gubbers. Bon fim de semana. Ciao, ciao, and we'll see you on Monday.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell.